Hi, welcome to the Silver Spleens Memories of Making Movies, Sifu vs. Vampire, Part 2. The second night, I actually went back to almost the same place because it turns out that the Kung Fu school where we were filming is right in the same block. At first I was lost, but once you notice all the extra camera equipment and stuff on the street, it's pretty easy to figure out that you're in the right place. So I managed to go upstairs and say hello to people. Philip Mwanlong is one of the actors in the film, and he was also someone that was going to be in the scene I had to shoot. Originally, I was supposed to walk in and say 2 words, and that was going to be it. But Philip said to me, that's boring, we should do something else. And right away I knew that I was probably in trouble. You see, I like to watch martial arts movies, but I don't practice martial arts. In fact, at that time, I didn't even really exercise that much. And now Philip wants to do something. Remember, this is a guy who a month later would have his own martial arts movie opening in cinemas. So he lays out this basic idea of things involving kind of grabbing one another and blocking and moving and everything else, and I'm trying to keep up with him. And all I'm thinking in the back of my mind is I'm going to ruin this movie and people are going to hate me, but I'm trying my best to keep up. So then at one point he goes, I guess that's okay, but I'm not sure. And he turns and he goes, Sifu, come here. And Yun Chengyan walks over. And then he starts yelling at me to go faster. Fight. I was just supposed to walk in and say 2 words. Now I got to do this and I'm getting yelled at. And I was trying really hard because I'm not good at this stuff. It didn't help that Philip wouldn't do the same thing over and over. I tried to memorize it so at least I wouldn't look too completely retarded. And Philip would change it and he'd go, oh, just respond to me. It's like, yeah, I could respond to you, but it's going to look awful because I stink. But I kept at it and I tried, and it was really hard to deal with that pressure, especially because at one point Philip and I were standing there practicing and I glanced over and Yun Bu, who is also in the scene, is staring at us. Now, maybe for Philip that's not so bad, but for me it wasn't very easy. Philip was really good about it. He just looked at me and said, don't look at him. No, look at me. Don't look at him. Yes, just look at me. So once we got that figured out, we were all standing around and Philip looked at me at one point and he said, could you pick me up? And I thought to myself, not without a roofie, but I don't think that's what he meant. So I said, what, you mean like this? And I picked him up because he doesn't weigh that much, especially compared to me at the time. And he said, yes, put me down. So, okay. So now, instead of saying 2 words, I got to walk in, say 2 words, go through a protracted, vaguely martial arts type sequence, then pick him up and walk out of the room. That's easy, right? Anybody could do that, especially if they haven't had time to prepare for it. Well, okay, so now I'm trying to deal with all of this. And then it comes time that we practice, we rehearse. All right, get ready, take 1. And so the very first time that I've ever shot anything in a movie,
I almost hurt my whole left side.
Yeah. You know, they say that sometimes in a situation like that, the thing that hurts the most is your pride. It's not quite true. My pride was really hurt, and I felt like I had disappointed a lot of people, and I also hurt all over my left side. And we'll find out later why that's important, but it was just really embarrassing. But I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and I just tried it again. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is it's not just once I have to do that. You have to do it once or twice for each camera angle, and there were a couple different ones that they used. I guess I did okay, and then Philip said, well, if worse come to worse, we can always, speed it up in post-production. So maybe that's what happened, I don't know. But I am really grateful for the opportunity, and believe me, the next day when I was able to tell myself that I got to do some kind of martial arts things with Philip while getting yelled at by Yun Chengyan, and Yun Bu was staring at me, and Jang Luxia was in the same room, that was pretty cool. It was so cool, in fact, that I almost didn't hurt walking around because of, falling on my left side. But wait, there's more.